I'm one of these people that like using stock apps, so stock Apple Notes, Calendar, etc. But there are apps that you can get that are skins to that information. So I trust my information with Apple, so my contacts, calendars, reminders, etc. effectively is in the Apple ecosystem, iCloud. But I like having apps that are skins to that information. So things like Fantastical, which uses reminders and calendars, and it shows you that information. So it's effectively a skin to your own data that you have somewhere else. So you can have Google Calendar, etc. But I wondered what it would be like to be able to not use those skins, not use any third-party apps, and just use the stock apps. Now, as I said, I like using stock apps. I like using Apple Notes. I like using iCloud and so on to run my business. But there are sometimes things that you want that are extra on top of those, the stock apps that come with your Mac. But I actually don't think you need those extra features. Now, I've been using Things for my task manager, and it works. It's beautiful. I love it. But I've noticed that I use it less and less because I do all my business in my Basecamp, which is a separate thing in itself. But all my contacts I use Apple Contacts. I don't use anything else. As you know, I don't use a CRM. Sometimes dab into Daylight, but it doesn't seem to work for me. But it is fantastic if you have a business that you need a CRM. I generally don't need a CRM, and I keep going backwards and forwards with this. I just can't make up my mind. But anyway, that's a different thing. My calendar, now I used Fantastical because it does look great on the iPhone, because the built-in iPhone app looks crap, but it doesn't mean that it's not feature-rich. What is a calendar? You put things in and it reminds you of something. What else do you need? Now, the features that Fantastical gave me and Things effectively gave me, they're two different things. One is a task manager and one is a calendar. I realized in these past couple of months that I wasn't really using those extra features other than they looked pretty. Now, looking pretty is great, but it's not exactly how you should choose an app, really. So what I've done in the past few weeks, and I've taken some time off in the past few weeks, as you are aware, it was because I had an issue with my eye and it kept weeping. That's why I wasn't making videos. And in that time, I was just constantly thinking about, what if I just use the stock Apple apps? So stock calendar, stock reminders, and have everything set up in such a way where I don't have to worry about going into these other apps or use the features on these other apps. And in the past week or so, I've realized I don't need these other skins. I don't need these other features that these other apps were giving me. Now, some people may want them and they like the prettiness. I mean, I don't think there's anything ugly about the calendar app or the reminders for Apple reminders and so on. But yeah, Fantastical does look way better on the phone, and Things looks way better on anything. But again, that's not really the criteria you should be looking at when you're getting these apps. So what's the point of me spending money on apps where the built-in ones can just work? So again, for the past couple of weeks, I've been using the stock apps, and it's, working great. And I don't understand why anyone would need something that looks pretty. Does that make sense? So have a look at the stock apps that you have. You'll probably find that you can just use them without having to spend money on skins, as it was, as I like to call it. And just go with what you have, because you'll probably find it'll just do way more, or do what you need it to do effectively. Anyway, with that, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.